This lighting here is always a paid motherfucking actor. Like, I like to squirt it on there. But yeah, fuck your feelings.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top
Your overall women's bikini champion,
if you know
Nicole Brumland. Congratulations!
Hi friends, today's topic of discussion is discipline. So I thought I would take you through some of my tips, my mindset, and some of my habits that I take along with me throughout the day to work on discipline. Because like everything else, like the gym, discipline is a muscle you need to work out. Okay, so it all starts with a good morning routine, right? I know you probably hear that time and time again, but it's so true. The way you start your day really will set you up for success throughout the rest of your day. So for the longest time, some habits that I have implemented were not letting myself have a snooze button. For the past year, I have gotten up super early. So my schedule might seem a little extreme to others, but just take this as it implements well into your life, okay? I get up at like 3 o'clock. Between 3 and 3:30, half the time my body just wakes me up and I don't even use my alarm. But if you do use an alarm, don't hit that snooze button. Get up right whenever it goes off, okay? That's how I kind of started doing it. I would just spring out of bed and I'm like, okay, I'm not laying back down. Now that my body is used to it and I have that discipline of not pressing any snooze button or not giving myself that option, I lay in bed, I read a few pages from my book, and then I get up. So that is number one. Number two is I don't go on my phone. No social media, no nothing. I'll check to see if I got any messages from like my family or my really close friends, you know, in case of emergency. But other than that, no social media. I don't go on social media until I eat my first meal. Right after that, you've seen my morning routine before. I do my weigh-ins, I do my vacuums, and then sometimes I'll clean up in the kitchen. Right now, my cardio is down to only 3 days a week, which I always do my cardio fasted, obviously, right when I wake up. But even without doing cardio, I will still go down to my apartment gym and walk on the treadmill, get some steps in, get some movement. And yeah, so that's basically the morning routine. And a lot of these tips and habits that I've developed in terms of discipline, it has been attributed to bodybuilding, but you don't have to be a bodybuilder to do these things, right? It's just kind of being more mindful and just thinking about your overall health and wellness, mentally and physically. So just getting movement in first thing in the morning is always such a great thing to set you up. And some people ask, like, why would you do fasted cardio? Why do you do that? And not to get into like the scientific aspect, because there isn't much research about the benefits of fasted cardio, but the way I see it is if you get what might be like the hardest thing of your day out of the way first thing in the morning, then you are already off to a great start, right? You hear the quote, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you start off your day by doing something hard, you are able to accomplish so much more in your day because you got that ball rolling, right? As opposed to if you were just to wake up, sit on the couch, be on your phone all day, it's just gonna snowball effect into having a less productive day, in my experience. So that is my morning routine. And a lot of it does start with the good nighttime routine, which I'll take you through later. But ensuring that you're getting a good amount of sleep, try to hit that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, get your body in a good routine, try to stay on a consistent sleeping schedule throughout the week to, again, set yourself up for that discipline to follow in that routine each and every day, because it's gonna be hard at first if you're not used to doing any of this, right? But once you make it a habit, so doing it day after day after day, it just sticks and becomes easy. That's kind of my spiel on the morning routine. I'll get back to you with some more of my tips later. All right, we are headed off to the gym. Fit check, pre-pump check. We are hitting shoulders. But this lighting here is always a paid motherfucking actor. Like, what the hell? Anyways, off we go. Alrighty, friends. Shoulders are done and motherfucking dusted. I went to Fry's right after, so thought we could do a little haul. I just needed to pick up a bunch of like produce shit. So bananas. We got some greens. I'll do these with my eggs, and then I'll also use it for like my Caesar salad moment. Some Baby Bella mushrooms. Also use that in my brekkie. I picked up some spiced chai tea because I don't know. Feeling the fall vibes. Also picked up some more coffee grounds. We got the vanilla this time, and she smells so good. So excited to try her. Some strawberries. I haven't had strawberries in so long, but I've been craving adding a little more fruit into my diet. Some avocados. Boom. Usually I get those at Costco, but sometimes it's just too much and then they go bad and it stresses me out. Last but not least, we got some lemons. I put these in my little morning gut drink, and then also sometimes with my tilapia or my chicken, I like to squirt her on there. But yeah, I'm going to cook up my post-workout meal and then get on with our day. All right, here is our gorgeous post-workout meal. So we have our sweet potato rolls, which if you haven't seen, I posted how I made them on my Instagram. Got my strawberries that I just bought. We have our eggs, egg white, veggies, and the rest of our coffee. Boom, baby. All right, we are about to head off to the gym, but thought this would be a good time to talk about the gym and discipline, because that is like the majority of where people say that they lack discipline is getting to the gym. That's the first step. Just get into the gym, okay? The way I look at the gym is the way that I look at work and school, other priorities, everything. I make it a non-negotiable. Okay, it's as simple as that. When it comes to like work and school, you will face consequences if you don't show up, right? Whether that's from your boss, your teachers, internally, you will face the consequences. You might start feeling guilty. You might start to lack confidence in yourself because you're not showing up for yourself. I'm a very type A person, and I schedule my days like minute by minute, hour by hour in my Google Calendar. For some, that works. For others, it doesn't. If you need to write out a little to-do list each day, do that. Find what works for you and what you're going to stick to. That's kind of the main thing of discipline. Not everything is going to work for everyone, but you just have to find what's going to work for you. So whenever I'm planning my week, I schedule out when I'm going to work, right? Like the blocks. I schedule in the time that it's gonna take me to get to work so that I have that like full block in my calendar so that nothing can come in that time frame. Simple, right? Do the same thing for the gym. So I will schedule out my traveling time, the amount of time it's gonna take me to work out, warm up, whatever. It takes me I don't know, I give myself like 2 hours usually, because it takes me like an hour to do the workout, and I need to warm up, I need to drive there. So I block that out of my schedule so that nothing else will interfere, and then I will plan the rest of my day around that. Little tip in planning out your day. Again, if you need to make a little checklist, gym, work, get your steps in, blah, 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 meal prep, do that and stick to it. It's so rewarding whenever you can check off a little box that you did something, right? Don't reward the outcome, reward your efforts. When it comes to the outcome portion, if you're so focused on, oh, I'm gonna lose 5 pounds in the gym, and you're just thinking about rewarding yourself for 5 months down the line whenever you lose the weight, that's gonna make it harder to stick to, because then you're just looking far off into the future and it's going to seem not as attainable. Whereas if you start rewarding your efforts, like you reward yourself, not even just like not even just rewarding yourself extrinsically. Why can't I say that word? Like, no, I don't reward yourself like I'm gonna eat a cookie every time I go to the gym. Think about rewarding yourself intrinsically. Like, give yourself praise for showing up every day this week. It goes a long way whenever you switch your mentality around things to I can't do it to I can and I will do it. So that's kind of what's helped me stick to being disciplined in the gym, because lots of people try to rely on motivation to get to the gym, but you're not gonna have motivation every day. That's where the discipline comes in. Some days you're not going to want to do it, but the discipline is that you're going to do it regardless of how you're feeling. Fuck your feelings. Don't follow your mood, follow the plan. That's what I always say. And I think that's a really good tip when it comes to the gym and getting there. So I'm gonna drink up my drink, head off to the gym, have a good ass lift, and then I'll get back to you with more. Okay friends, we are back. I'm here in my regular rotting spot, but I wanted to talk to you about discipline when it comes to food, because if it's not discipline when it comes to the gym, next up, you already know, people say they lack discipline when it comes to eating healthy and staying away from processed food, going out all the time. Okay, so when it comes to food that you have in your house, I have a few tips. Number one, bulk meal prep your food. And I'm not talking about, you don't need to do like each meal day by day unless that's your thing. But a simple way is to just bulk meal prep your carbs and your proteins. So I'll show you my fridge later, but I have like my carbs, so my rice is all meal prepped for a few days. And then my proteins, I have my tilapia, ground turkey chicken. And then other than that, I don't keep anything else really in my fridge unless I have the intention of eating it. I don't know about you guys, but I hate wasting food, and I hope you hate wasting food as well. So when it comes to produce, it's like you have to eat it within a certain window before it goes bad, right? So that's kind of a little hack to trick yourself into eating more fruits and veggies. Like, buy it fresh so that you have to eat it by a certain date. And then also, I don't keep any temptations really in reach. So if you live by yourself, it's a little easier, because I would say just throw out the sugary shit that you know you shouldn't have. Throw it out, right? But I know some people do live with roommates, they have a partner, they have kids. I'd say try to keep those foods that you don't want to be tempted by, keep them out of reach. But that being said, you know, I have a whole buffin stash in my freezer, but I keep it in the freezer so it's not in reach. And if I do want one, like, I'd have to wait for it to thaw out and blah, 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 blah. So if you do have some sweet treats, put it in the freezer. And then if you really do want to indulge a little bit, because it is about balance. You don't have to go balls to the wall crazy, because that can potentially lead to other things, maybe binging, stuff like that. So you don't want to completely just go cold turkey, right? If you're starting from fresh in your health and fitness journey, sometimes that's not the best option. But if you do want to have a little more self-control, throw your sweets in the freezer, anything tempting so that it's not as easily accessible. That's kind of the main thing here, is put things out of reach that you are going to be tempted by. End of that. Same thing with like in the pantry. I'll show you guys that as well, but it's like what you see is what you're gonna reach for. So put the healthy foods like in eyesight, so right when you open the fridge, it's like, oh, there are my veggies and my fruit and my whole foods. And then put everything else that you want sparingly somewhere else. Put it on the top shelf. If you're shorty, put that shit on the top shelf. Because I know damn well you're not gonna wanna reach up there every time you are tempted by a sweet treat. Okay, so that's my little spiel on food that's in your house. The other part where people lack discipline is when it comes to going out, getting fast food on the way home, going out to restaurants and drinks with your friends every weekend. If that's something that you know is not serving you and that you don't want to partake in anymore, cut those friends off. Okay, environment is everything. So like the environment of your house, the people you surround yourself with and the places that you hang out, that really influences you so much. So I used to be a real big drinker, right, in college and everything. And then when I realized like this isn't helping me towards my goals, I'm not loving this anymore, my body feels like shit mentally and physically, I cut those people off. And you know, if they are like your real friends, they'll understand if you want to take a step back and not go with them out all the time and focus on like gaining your health and wellness back. Yeah, if they're your real friends, they will understand that, and you guys can always plan something else that's not food or drink related. But on the other hand, if they are toxic or they just that's their lifestyle and that's what they want to prioritize, but you are on the opposite spectrum now, it's okay to cut them off. It's okay to not go out and do those things. They kind of go hand in hand, the whole food and environment. What you surround yourself with and who you surround yourself with really makes such a big difference when it comes to staying disciplined and focusing on working towards your goals. Hopefully those little tips helped someone, and I'll get back to you tonight with my nighttime routine. All right, giving you a little fridge tour. I have all my buffins here in the freezer. If I want one for the next day, I'll take it out of the freezer, leave it in the fridge, right? Out of sight, out of mind, kind of. Here is where we get into the bulk of everything. So I have my rice right here, bulk prep that bitch. Same with my green beans, same with my sweet potato rolls that I've shown on my Instagram if you're interested. And then I have my proteins, my tilapia, ground turkey, and chicken. And then our eggs. This is just turning into a fridge haul. I have my produce of my mushrooms, all of that. Again, more fresh produce in here. I have my greens. And then my coffee and egg whites. That's beside the point. Look at that. If it's in front of you, you are more likely to choose it. So don't put any of your bad shit in a place that's easily reachable if you are struggling to eat well and choose the right foods. These are my only options. Minimize your options and stick with it. Okay, similarly for my pantry, this one's a little more disorganized, but I put my main things right here, right in my line of sight, whatever the fuck it's called. So mostly I'll do peanut butter and almond butter, right? But I put the fun flavored stuff at the top so it's less reachable for me to get, and I choose these ones instead. I choose those whenever I want a little sweet treat, but these ones are the ones that are accessible, right? Making sense? Is it clicking? Okay, I wanted to show you meal 3 because since I'm at home, obviously and not working, I can make my meals nice and pretty. So we have 3 ounces of chicken, rice. I put some ghee butter on there, some avocado, potatoes,
and some pickled red onions that I got from the farmer's market the other day, and topped her with some Melindas. But isn't she gorge? I'm so excited. Finishing off our day, we have our nighttime routine. So similarly to my morning routine, I have a rule of no social media and no phone an hour before bed. I will do my normal get unready rituals, and then I finish off with reading and journaling before bed. I've found that this really helps get everything out of my mind so that I can go to bed at peace and with no worries. If that's not your thing, first of all, I would say give it a try if you haven't. But if not, just kind of find little things to do to help you wind down and relax from your day. The goal is to unload all the stress and everything from your day so that you can get a good night's rest and then do it again tomorrow, baby. Another tip to do at night is to set yourself up for success for the following day. So I will set out my clothes to do my morning cardio in. I'll put my supplements on the counter so that I see them and I get it done right away, and I don't have any excuse as to why I'm not doing those things in the morning. Remember that the seeds you're planting today are the fruits you'll harvest tomorrow. Your future self will thank you for everything that you did today, so just start. And remember that mindset is everything, especially when it comes to discipline. There's a quote by, I believe it's Henry Ford, and he says, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." Get rid of that voice in your head that's telling you you've never been disciplined and you never will be. Start to believe that you have discipline, and you will start acting in that way. You always have a choice. You always are able to choose your environment and choose your circumstances. And remember that discipline isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself and keeping those promises to do the things that you said you would do. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I love you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Love you.
Sitting in my Bentley, thinking about these hoes. All I do is kill them. I kill them like Nicole. I kill them like Nicole. I kill them like Nicole. What's between